Let's talk about a problem that I guarantee every single person listening to this has felt. You know that incredible on top of the world feeling of motivation you get on day one of a new goal? And then you know how it just vanishes by day two? Well, it turns out this has nothing to do with you being lazy or undisciplined. It's all about psychology. You know that feeling, right? You've just decided you're going to get in shape or learn a new skill or finally start that project. You are on fire. You feel totally unstoppable. The vision of who you're going to be is so clear and the whole path just seems exciting. And then, boom, day two hits. The alarm goes off and that fire, it's gone. The gym suddenly seems like a massive chore, that new skill feels overwhelming, and all that drive has just evaporated. And you're left sitting there wondering, wait, what just happened?
Okay, this is the most important part, so listen up. That whole cycle, it is not your fault. This isn't a personal failure. It's a feature, not a bug, of how your brain works. Your brain is literally designed to do this to you. So let's get into why.
It all kicks off with what we can call the day one illusion. That incredible feeling isn't just you being optimistic. It's a legitimate chemical event happening in your brain. And once you understand it, everything else starts to make sense. The magic, or maybe the trick, is a little thing called anticipatory dopamine. Here's the kicker. Your brain releases this amazing feel-good chemical not when you do the hard work, but when you just think about the awesome reward at the end. It's giving you all the credit for just dreaming about the finish line, not for actually running the race. On day one, your brain isn't thinking about the repetitive reality of the work ahead. Nope, it's playing the movie trailer for your awesome future. It's imagining that perfect body, the successful career, that feeling of unshakable confidence. And that fantasy is what floods your system with that incredible I can do anything feeling. And that's the trap, isn't it? Your motivation is at its absolute peak before you've even broken a sweat, because the idea of the reward feels so much better and so much more immediate than the grind required to actually get it. So, what happens when the alarm goes off on day two? Why does it all fall apart? Well, this is where that beautiful fantasy slams head first into cold, hard reality. Just look at the difference here. It's like night and day. Day one is all about the reward, the fantasy. It feels amazing. Your dopamine is through the roof. Then day two rolls around, and bam, reality hits. The focus is now on the actual effort, which can be boring and repetitive, and that dopamine, yeah, it's taken a nosedive. So why the bait and switch from our own brains? Well, you've got to remember, our brains are ancient. They're wired for survival, and for thousands of years, survival meant getting a reward like food or safety right now. Waiting around for some distant future payoff was a good way to not survive. And you see this logic play out everywhere in our modern lives. It's why scrolling through social media, with its constant little hits of novelty, feels a million times easier than studying for a final exam. It's why quitting a tough task brings a sense of relief, and why the exciting act of starting something new always feels better than the long, slow work of sustaining it. This brings us to what I think is the biggest lie we're all told about success. We really need to break down this myth because it's probably holding you back without you even realizing it. I mean, how many times have you heard this? The story we're sold is that successful people are just these motivation machines. They wake up every single day just bursting with energy and drive, and if we could just feel that way, we'd be successful too. Well, guess what? Psychology shows us that's completely backward. Trying to rely on a constant feeling of motivation to get you to your goals is pretty much a guaranteed recipe for failure. We have to completely reframe what motivation is actually for. Think about it like this. Motivation is the spark that starts the engine. It is not the fuel that keeps the car running for a 500-mile road trip. Its only job is to provide that initial ignition, that first push to get you moving. That's it. And this is the real secret. The people who actually stick with things aren't superhuman. They don't feel motivated all the time. They have just built systems and habits that make doing the work the default option. They've designed their lives so they don't have to rely on feeling good to get started. So if motivation is a flaky friend we can't count on, what's the alternative? How do we actually build the consistency that leads to results? Let's get practical. It all starts with a simple but powerful shift in the question you ask yourself. We're all stuck asking, how do I stay motivated? The better question, the one that actually solves the problem, is how do I make this easier to do? In other words,
How do I reduce the resistance so much that I don't need motivation in the first place?
And here are 3 ways to do exactly that. 1, create ridiculously tiny actions. Don't aim for go to the gym for an hour. Aim for put on your workout clothes. 2, build routines that automate the process so you're not depending on that day 1 hype. And 3, this one is huge. Learn to start bored. Don't wait to feel ready or inspired. Just start. See, this totally flips the script. We think we need to feel motivated before we can take action, but the science shows that it's the other way around. Action comes first. The simple act of starting, of making even a tiny bit of progress, is what generates that feeling of motivation to keep going.
Okay, let's wrap this up with the one big idea that ties it all together. This is all about learning to work with your brain's weird ancient wiring instead of constantly fighting a losing battle against it.
If you remember one thing, let it be this. Stop chasing the high of motivation. It's a waste of your precious energy. Instead, become a designer of your behavior. Design your environment and your habits so that the right choice is the easiest choice to make. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Forget the huge, grand vision for a second. What is one tiny, almost stupidly simple action you could set up for yourself today that would guarantee you make just a little progress tomorrow, even if you wake up with zero motivation? Because that right there is how you actually begin to win.